welcome to our store African Renaissance. I wanted to tell you a little bit about our stuff and why we started doing what we do. Originally, when I was living in Los Angeles, they were bringing in African goods from West Africa, and they were pretty crude and they weren't practical or useful in the home. So we started doing research into African goods from Southern Africa mainly, but that were not only beautiful but could be used in your home in a practical way that incorporated into your home instead of standing out just as an art piece. If you'd like to come this way, I'll show you about some of our stuff. And on the wall over here are batiks. They come from the Kingdom of Swaziland. And these are not actually painted, they're dyed. So if you turn it around, you can see it's dyed. Now how they do this is every single time they add a new color, they have to paint on liquid wax, then they have to dye it, they have to lay it out to dry, and then they have to scrape all the wax off and start again for another color. I think batiking is traditionally German, and that's how it got into the African culture. But these particular ones are unique in that they depict like African sunset scenes, which is unique to Africa and kind of what people expect when they think about Africa. Over here, this is a soapstone bust. It comes from Zimbabwe. It's hand carved, and how they learn how to do it is by watching other people do it. They don't go to school, they just learn by sitting at somebody's feet and watching them. And these are done along the side of the road, and that's where you pick them up, is on the side of the road. Over here is a traditional Zulu basket. It's actually called a beer basket, and the reason why it's called a beer basket is it's so tightly woven that when they add a liquid, the palms that it's woven out of will swell and it becomes watertight. The different colors actually have a meaning, and the different shapes mean something as well. And how they dye the palm is by using fruits and berries and vegetables, and they'll make a paste and they'll cover the palm, and then they actually bury it underneath the fire, and it absorbs the color and becomes color fast. And if you could smell, the whole basket actually smells like smoke, fire smoke, and that's because of the way that the color is put in. These are done, this company is one of the companies that takes the raw materials to the woman, and they do it at home, and then they collect the baskets and they move them on and sell them. These frames here are made out of recycled aluminium, and they come from Zimbabwe. So it's using something that would normally be tossed in a landfill or not used, and they make it. This frame here has been hand painted. These are wacky animals. They're just cute and brightly colored. The company that does this one is they have a creche on hand, so the woman can take their kids to work with them, and they can work. These baskets are made out of grass, and using the same technique, they dye the grass, but it's not as hardy as the palm, but it's still beautiful. And these actually come from the Kingdom of Swaziland. And in Swaziland, they have lots of rolling hills with the tall grass, and they'll go up into the hills, they'll cut the grass, they'll take it down, they'll lay it out, they'll dry it. Then they'll use the same technique of the vegetables and fruits to dye it, and then they weave the product out of it when they're done. These are plates. They're Zulu or baskets, and they'll. This is when they grind the wheat or the chaff. They'll put it in here, and you'll see them doing this, and the bits will fly off. This is what they're using. It's called a gokwe or plate. That's a little bit about some of the stuff that we sell. If you'd like to come over here, I'll show you some more. Over here we have some unusual African products. These discs up here, they're made out of wax. The whole thing is a candle. Even though it looks like metal, it's just a metal finish. The reason it's done like that is because the artist that the work is based on, he does his artwork out of multi-metals. These are just different types of African jewelry. This is hematite with African jade or malachite. This is made out of brass, the elephant head. This is just typical Zulu beading. They do a lot of beading. It's made out of glass beads. Originally, Africans used to trade in cowrie shells, and then when the Europeans came to Africa, they started making the African trade beads, which are using a millefeuille method where the glass is melted in and they do the designs with the flowers and that on the beads. And then eventually it went to the glass beads. So this is eventually what they ended up trading in instead of money. This here is from Kenya. It's made out of cow bone. Their animals denote their wealth. So when one is slaughtered or used for a ceremony, they make sure they use everything. The skin, the meat is eaten, and then the bones they make jewelry out of. The different colors have been stained or batiqued. The glassware is made out of recycled glass. It comes from the Kingdom of Swaziland, and it's soda pop bottles. The kids collect the soda pop bottles and they're paid a couple of pennies, and then the foundry recycles, melts it, and they make the different animals out of it. So as well as it being a training facility, they teach people how to blow glass and make animals. This one is obviously an elephant, and then we have giraffe. There's glasses. They then combined with or have a relationship with a company in South Africa that makes pewter animals, and so the glass is recycled from Swaziland and the pewter animals come from South Africa. We have bottle stoppers, and then going down we have these are desk sets. The animals are pewter and the pen is pewter, and then the wood is jacaranda wood, which is pretty prevalent in South Africa. These are made out of wire, and then the tires are made out of recycled black garbage bags, and they make the Harley Davidsons out of them. These here are they're just fun bracelets that are made out of water bottles, so that they've been upcycled, and they're a fun accessory for summer, and it's keeping something out of a landfill. The last thing here is this is a piece carved out of ironwood. It comes from Zimbabwe, again picked up along the side of the road, and you can see how intricately it's carved and how good the carvers are, even though they don't have formal lessons. Thank you for joining us today, and I appreciate you spending some time with us.